Thursday, November 10th, 2022, and we have so much to catch up on. Um, I only watched it after the fact, but it looks like Amy Alyssa Farrah Fowler Griffin better be careful if she's going to misquote Miss Sunny Hostin. I guess on Tuesday's show of The View, she misquoted Sunny as saying that suburban women were cockroaches, and Sunny took a very pointed reaction to that to make sure that she knew that she was using an analogy, which she then clarified to be a simile. That this kind of behavior is akin to a roach voting for Raid. And then she attributed it to John Leguizamo originally. And I don't know if that's accurate. It might be the first time she heard it, but I feel like that's a phrase that's been around for a long time. It just, it was very striking in the moment when she said it, I guess last week sometime, but, and hilarious. But Amy Alyssa Farrah Fowler Griffin really got a little bit of a smackdown. Whoopi told them both to shut up, went to commercial, and when she came back, they had to apologize. So, don't mess with Sunny. I love that she is willing, Amy Alyssa Farrah Fowler Griffin is willing to, go to bat for her opinions and stand up for herself, but not be an asshole about it. She was sort of making a joke and a generalization. Sunny got a little offended by it, so it escalated really without kind of any real merit. But it was nice to see them banter. And then Joy gave her a little compliment and kind of Megan a backhanded insult to say, I don't agree with you, but I enjoy talking to you and telling you about your pretty dresses. Which, Megan had style issues as well as personality issues. Anyway, so don't mess with Sunny. And then we had a midterm election that's been causing a great deal of anxiety. And it's not as bad as I thought. It's not as good as I hoped. I had hope that we would hold both houses of Congress. But knowing the electorate, I didn't have a lot of faith in it. But ultimately, it's a giant, even if, well, we'll have to see, wait and see what happens in the Senate. It looks like we picked up Pennsylvania. It looks like we're going to lose Nevada and probably keep Arizona, which leaves the Georgia runoff, the deciding election again, for the balance of power in the Senate. I do not understand how anyone can vote for Herschel Walker. I don't care what your political affiliation is. He's just a complete moron. So we'll see how that goes. If we hold the Senate, and it looks like we don't hold the House, that's not the worst. It's not great, but it could have been much worse. And historically, given how the tides have turned in Congress at first term, midterm elections, this is like a thrumping of the Republicans and a giant win for the Democrats. It is clear that there's still messaging work to be done. And this is one of the only times you can say on both sides, because I don't think, other than the maggots, moderate Republicans are really interested in all of this fear baiting, and election denying was really trounced. The secretaries of state and governorships and all the state contests, and it looks like there won't be a single election denier in charge of the 2024 elections in any state that is any kind of battleground state. I still think, somebody should be looking at like Tennessee and Kentucky, because are they just gerrymandered to fuck? because I don't get what's coming out of those states, and nobody really questions it because they don't consider it a battleground. But I just feel like there's an imbalance of the number of votes that go to Democrats and then the number of actual representatives they end up with. So, but so yes, that's the answer is yes, gerrymander to fuck. So I do feel like there's still a lot of work to be done to create some more equity across the states, but at least it doesn't feel like our entire democracy is going to go down the toilet at least this year, because saying no to election deniers and all of Trump's little minions, except for JD Vance, that was a giant miss in Ohio, and upsetting, because that would have determined the balance of power. And JD Vance is just an asshole. But anyway, not the giant thrumping that was it kept getting bandied about. And messaging. So the Republicans are probably going to have to rebrand a bit, and stop being the fear mongers. And Democrats are going to have to be more forceful in in showing that the Republicans don't actually have a plan. They will talk about things that are wrong, but they don't actually have any solutions to fix it. All they're trying to do is tell you everything that's wrong, so that you don't vote for a Democrat. But the problem is the only people that have a plan to fix it are the Democrats. So if you vote for more of them, the things might get fixed. And there just needs to be better messaging, and more positive messaging, and they need to hit back harder. But we are consistently terrible at that. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of years. I'm looking forward to hearing no election talk for 6 months or so, but we've got this looming announcement coming from Trump, and gotta say, as a giant loser on Tuesday, I'm not sure that he's gonna wield the power that he thinks he does. Rupert Murdoch has already shifted all of their attention onto DeSantis. Fox News is touting DeSantis. The New York Post is making fun of Trump. Like Trump's off that train. And when you're off the Fox News train, there's not a lot of hope, because they have a lot of pull with their cult followers that watch them. So if Fox News is off Trump, it does make DeSantis more dangerous, because I feel like he's more palatable to people, even though he's just as evil and terrible for the country as Trump is. He's just not as much of a buffoon. So we'll see how that all plays out. He is an egomaniacal piece of shit, but we got through it, and democracy didn't die today. So that's great news. And the only other thing that's happening is how much I'm enjoying watch Elon Musk destroy Twitter. He is going to sink that company into the toilet. So that's $44 billion of his and the Saudis' money are down the drain, because it will no longer be a social media platform. He's going to try to turn it into some sort of crypto Venmo piece of bullshit, because he obviously doesn't understand how social media works. Because nobody's going to pay if the whole thing is a subscription. Nobody's going to stay, and there's no point in people paying $8 to be verified with no verification if there's no followers. So good job, Elon. Perhaps it'll be defunct by Christmas.